Hello and welcome to the Otaku Network podcast. My name is Steve.
And I'm David.
And we are into week 10. We're almost done. Week 10 of the 2025 summer anime season.
This summer went fast.
It did. It went really fast. Like, faster than it should have.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the fall season is about to hit us in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Fortunately, the production team for the Summer Hikaru Died got their shit together, and episode 9 was available as promised a week late. So this episode picks up a short time after episode 8, where Hikaru and Yoshiki are recovering at Rie's apartment. And while Hikaru is knocked out from his efforts, Yoshiki and Rie have some pretty frank conversations. She pretty much equates whatever the thing is that is pretending to be Hikaru to a lightning rod that attracts things from the realm of the dead, or the other side. And while it existed on the mountain, this was not much of a problem as long as people stayed off the mountain. But now that it's inside of the city, that problem becomes a little bit different. So Yoshiki is faced with the thing that he's kind of been regretting to face for a while now. The idea that this can't continue, that Hikaru can't stay here indefinitely, because somebody is going to end up dead at some point because of this. The selfishness, you could call it, I guess. Afterwards, the two have a little bit of a moment, not necessarily connecting, because Hikaru admits that he doesn't understand emotions or feelings. None of that is a concept that he has any gravity towards. His desires are still ambivalent, even to himself, honestly, because he doesn't understand why he is so drawn towards Yoshiki. After doing a little bit more solidifying of their understanding of the history of the area, they go to visit Old Man Takeda. And after name-dropping Rie, his daughter-in-law lets them come visit him, and he's been holed up in his bedroom for a while now, presumably since the one old woman was killed by Hikaru in the beginning of the series. He gets quickly angry at them, demanding that they bring Rie to him, because she's the only one that he's aware of that's an honest-to-God spirit medium, and he needs her help, to prevent him from being the next victim of Nanuki-sama. Before the boys can really get anywhere with him, he begins to blame Hikaru and Hikaru's family line, talking about how in the famine that took place in the mid-1700s, his family did something unspeakable, and due to that, they've been cursed, and all of this is their responsibility for appeasement and atonement to Nanuki. Then, without hesitation, one of the restless dead takes over the old man's body, and drawing the katana, which I believe is the present that Tanaka brought to him a couple episodes ago, attempts to engage in combat with the boys. And then Tanaka shows up, disarms the old man, kind of pacifies the being that's within him, and promptly removes Hikaru's head from his shoulders. And that's where the episode ends, with Yoshiki holding his dead friend's head in amazement.
They turned up the spooky and I liked it.
Yeah, I was wondering what your thought was going to be about the atmosphere of this episode.
Lots of creepy, I liked it.
I like that we're getting closer to understanding what's going on with at least the history of the village. And at the same time, coming to the natural resolution of the thing that is Hikaru is just going to have to go away. This can't continue.
Yeah.
And they both need to come to that conclusion in a mutual term, or else it's going to be a terrible occurrence trying to make that happen on its own.
Her husband was fucking creepy.
Oh, Rie's?
Yeah.
Who got taken by whatever after he had died? I think it was more creepy the fact that she was just trying to live on, pretending that life was normal, and this animated corpse was living in a closet, essentially. Well, it was a spare bedroom, but
yeah.
Either way. And then she was like, it's time to get rid of him when he attacked my son. And I think her son died from the attack. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It's been quite a few episodes since she
mentioned.
No,
he's still alive. It's just, it never really healed properly.
Got it. Which, if you look at Yoshiki's arm.
Yeah. I just like how the kid's like, Dad made my Pokemon stronger.
Yeah. So we found out that the thing that attacked them in the restaurant was the spirit that was summoned by Tanaka a couple of episodes ago when he gave that offering of the bell at that shrine that he desecrated. It looked like the spirit extracted a payment from him.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know more about that, but we may not. Either way, Tanaka definitely, in this segment.
I just love that we saw that creepy spirit 3 times because it killed the moth.
Yep.
Then it attacked the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then it showed up behind Tanaka. I was just like, oh. And then it started running and its head started going. I'm like, ah, stranger danger.
So Takeda the Younger commented to himself that he's not sure if Tanaka is a good thing for the village. And I think that still stands true.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be.
It's hard to look at that objectively because we're supposed to cheer for Hikaru and Yoshiki.
Mm-hmm.
Tanaka, by all appearances, regardless of his methods, is there to help the village with a supernatural problem. His way of doing that is probably not the most thoughtful
or self-preserving.
Considerable. But, the fact that he literally is giving up body parts to do this shows an amount of altruism in his part. But he also is presented to us as kind of an antagonist character. Especially with the ending of the episode where he beheads Hikaru. We know it's not going to kill Hikaru.
As far as we know.
It'll be interesting to see how that incident resolves.
Who knows?
We'll find out soon enough.
See you next week, barring any production issues.
Yeah, hopefully. We have little time left.
This week on Sakamoto Days, the fight continues between Shin and Sakamoto's #1 fangirl. And in typical Sakamoto Days fashion, the fighting is over the top and extra. Apparently, Sakamoto had saved this girl or fought in front of this girl when she was young, and it became her obsession. She learned how to dye hair, she learned how to be social, she learned how to do all this stuff just for the sake of Sakamoto. And boy howdy. She very quickly realizes that something is up with Shin when Shin does the same neck crack move that Sakamoto does. In typical spending a lot of time around somebody fashion, you pick up on some of their mannerisms, which I liked. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
And so because Shin picked up the mannerism of cracking your neck as a ready stance, she assumes Shin is a obsessed fan like she is.
Yeah, she thinks Shin is a...
trying to steal her Sakamoto from her. I mean, Miyu called him an
otaku.
Otaku, yeah. Which we finally learned his fucking name.
Yeah.
Took for fucking ever.
That would be the kid with the mask who's a bit bloodthirsty.
Or it's Miyuku. And we get just a lot of fighting between Shin and this crazy Sakamoto fangirl. To which Shin, being, secondary main character, ultimately wins the fight by kicking her off a fucking waterfall, to which she starts to drown because her Sakamoto doll gets stuck under a rock. Shin saves her, and then she gets fucking kicked at Mach Jesus into a rock wall by another one of the recommendation students. We very quickly find out that this recommendation student is just a robot that is being controlled by Slur and his men. Specifically, it's literally a 4-letter word that starts with G. Anyway, he is controlling this robot, starts murdering all the fucking proctors, and as the episode's about to end, we get the team up of the century.
Gaku,
thank you. We get the team up of the century where fangirl, Miyuku, and Shin, and then the one proctor that's still left alive after the other 3 were brutally fucking murdered. We get the face-off. Meanwhile, in the after credits scene, we see Heisuke, Lu, and Aoi tending to the store. They're worried about Sakamoto. Aoi is really concerned about Sakamoto eating real food and not just junk food. To which we cut to Sakamoto and his team doing the survival aspect of this challenge, in which they scavenge for food and cook. And we find out that whenever Sakamoto goes camping, he really loves cooking.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really fun episode. There's going to be nothing thought-provoking about this show. I'm just here for the fights.
The instant that they cut, the beginning of the episode over to Slur and his crew, I'm like, oh, wait, are all of the ringers, agents of Slur's? And no, it just ended up being one of them, technically, kind of. I'm more interested in the mechanics of the puppeteering that Gaku was doing with the student. That fight was funny, and the fact that he was like, I found a weapon, and then the weapon is literally just one of the instructors. I don't know. It's doing the thing I didn't want it to do, and that's dragging its ass.
It is dragging a little bit.
You know, and you spend the first 5 minutes between recapping for whatever fucking reason. Oh, sorry, shonen. And the opening credits. There's not a lot of story left, given the fact that we're also going to have a 2-minute post-credit scene as well. So, I don't know. It keeps shonening the shit out of itself, and the season started out really strong, and it's starting to do a slide for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's my fault for enjoying the beginning of the season.
I'm still enjoying it.
Which, it's your thing. I get it.
Shonen, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm a teenage boy at heart. We get it, you're a teenage girl. You like.
I was going to say I never want to relive my teenage years, because teenage years are probably the worst time in a person's life, honestly. Something tells me that the season is just going to end right as they get to the college, or to the campus.
Probably. Counting down.
We are counting down. We're getting pretty close to the end of things. And they're just taking their time. I'm glad we got to see Heisuke and
Lou?
And Lou, yeah.
I know. They've been kind of ancillary characters this season.
Well, they're not part... Yeah. Yes. Especially Heisuke.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, just both of them. They have been very non-important for pretty much the entire season, sadly.
They've been comedic gags the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, they have not been a part of the actual storyline.
Sakamoto and Shin are definitely they got main character syndrome for the
Batman
D&D
and Robin.
They got main character syndrome for the D&D party this season.
Pretty much, yeah.
They are just a D&D party, by the way.
Yeah, they are. They don't have a healer yet, though. They have to pay that one when they come back to town.
I mean, that's how some parties do it.
It's true, but that's a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Always have a Band-Aid in the crew.
Exactly. Sometimes that person the people just don't want to play that healer.
Bitches.
Exactly, bitches.
This week in City, we lament the summer of our youth. Makabe is conspiring with his fellow middle-aged friends. That would be Adatara the father, as opposed to grandfather, and the gentleman whose name I forget, who is the editor-in-chief of the City magazine. And after reminiscing about their carefree youth summer vacations, all three of them decide to say, fuck it, we're going to take our own summer vacation and close down all of their respective businesses for this interesting twist on a midlife crisis. Due to the Makabe restaurant being closed, Nagumo is now unemployed, with the only thing she's earning for income are coupons for any of her work she does in the Takara Dake performance troupe, which they're still putting on plays for and using her for whatever reason. So she seems to enjoy it, but whatever. Due to Nagumo's unemployment, Nikura comes up with a scheme for instant riches by becoming an online sensation, which ends up getting Nagumo dressed up in a moe furry outfit and trying to be cutesy to the camera. And then they take this and they try to push it further by exposing themselves throughout the city within this character through less than selfless antics. We cut over to Tatewaku, who is trying to have a second date with Riko, only to be waylaid by the Riko Appreciation Association. Against their best efforts, he doesn't realize it until Riko flat out tells him that she doesn't think about him any different than she thinks about anyone else. And that's no concern, love, care, whatever. Riko literally floats through life unwanting of connection with other human beings, which devastates Tatewaku. That's also what he gets for continuing to wear that very strange outfit that was done more as a joke than anything. We cut over to Riko and Tatewaku's class. They're attempting to mark their fleeting summer because they've spent it doing makeup exams at school by inventing the buzzword of the season with their teacher's help, at which point they fail and they have literally just wasted their entire summer, mostly on the fact that they're terrible students. Then we cut to the old men who are taking their carefree, let's relive the summer journey. They're going to the beach. Fortunately, there's apparently a typhoon, so the beach is not necessarily working out very well for them. But their sheer determination to experience this joy and fabricate it as much as possible leads them to just trying to do the beach thing in the middle of the typhoon, which doesn't end up very well. And then we get a fantastic post-credit sequence where it is a series of previews for next episodes of a show that is essentially a slice of life comedy with Riko and Tatewaku as the main characters. Were there 6 of them? Telling a progressive story that was like this crazed action adventure like thing. And leave it to City to have a post-credit scene that's a fake series of previews to be significantly stronger of a story than a lot of anime do in an entire season's run of the show. Like, the episode was good. It was okay. It wasn't like astonishing like the other ones have been. But that segment blew everything out of the door and just made this just as good as everything else. Like the brazen audacity of, oh, okay, cool. Check this out. We're going to fabricate an entirely non-existent story and give you a series of previews of it, just giving you the understanding of the story. And it's going to be really well thought out.
I liked the play with the echidna.
It was kind of set up like a classic fairy tale.
Yeah.
Where this echidna just had this can't be bothered attitude, and the story about how the whole town is just trying to reconcile with this, and it ends up flipping it on its head, and it turns into this thing where they're celebrating it for its standoffish attitude, and then nothing they do works to change its outlook on life. And then the character that Nagumo is showing up, she was supposed to be a detective, right?
Yeah.
And she is mimicking his standoffishness. Being confronted with it is the thing that finally changed his attitude and outlook on life. But the whole thing was being narrated by Takeru in his strange rapping format that he's done in pretty much all of the plays that they've put together.
I also like that when he's like, after this intermission will be Self-Esteem Part 2. And then somebody in the audience just goes, what kind of name is Self-Esteem?
The fact that he keeps getting people to come see his shows
is amazing.
Yeah, because we'll say this, he has a lot of heart. That's the quality of his work, is his level of passion. But it is very much textbook example of, I feel embarrassed for you by how bad this is and how little you realize how bad this is.
Yeah.
And the fact that Nagumo is just going along with it for pretty much peanuts.
I just thought it was funny seeing her in the otaku outfit. I didn't even know her hair was that long.
Yeah, it was a good look for her with the hair down, because she always has it in the ponytail.
Yep.
The show's so good.
I'm convinced Nikura has a thing for her.
Nikura definitely has a thing for her. 100%. Here for it.
Here for it. I'll take some Yuri.
Hikaru was good. It was I missed it last week, honestly. It kind of saddened me that we couldn't watch it. I was very tempted to just start cracking into the manga, but I held off. But no, I enjoyed this episode. I like what it's setting up for what should be a conclusion to the series. I know the manga is only slated to be 8 tankobon long. I don't know if all of it is out in Japan yet. And I don't know how much of the story the anime is covering. Find out when we get there, though.
We'll get there when we get there.
This is true. This is true.
Oh, I'm excited.
Sakamoto Days is
Sakamoto Daising
is showing us why it's part of Jump. It's very shonen jumpy. And City, yeah, I don't know. Best anime of the year, I think. And the sad part is, I've been looking at what's coming out in the fall. And for my tastes, aside from a couple of shows that are returning, it's pretty barren for anything I want to watch. So I think it's going to be really hard for me to find a show to pick for the next season of the podcast that is really going to engage me.
From what you showed me, even though I am a shonen fan, it doesn't look too good.
What, you don't want to watch Sanda? I love Science Saru, but my love of Science Saru is not going to get me to watch Sanda. I can't. No, I can't do it. Oh, yeah, the show exists for somebody, I'm sure. That person is not me by any stretch of the mean. Anyways, this season, it's been good. We've been spoiled, which makes looking at the fall season a little bit depressing. We got anything else?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, thanks. And don't forget the Wednesday episodes of the podcast where we are talking about Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. And earlier this week, we dropped a bonus Anime Plus episode where myself and 2 guests had a long conversation about Gundam GQX and its meaning to the rest of the Gundam universe. So check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when we drop random off-schedule episodes. And don't forget to join us on our socials. They're listed below. And we will check you guys next time.